Maybe you're like me and you're not a big fan of bars in the shower, shampoo bars, body bars, conditioner bars, and maybe you're looking for a good eco-friendly shampoo conditioner option that's a liquid. Well, today I'm going to introduce you to Plaine Products if you've never heard of them, but I'm sure you have because they're amazing. They have been at the top of the zero waste bathroom game for a long time. They sell bottles made out of aluminum. You take them home, you use them, you send them back and they refill them. It's an amazing model, but I'm gonna let them tell you their story themselves because I went on a tour of their distribution warehouse. Now that I'm in Ohio, they're also located in Ohio. It was such a fun time to get to go talk with them, do an interview with them, and have them really explain their process from a brand new product to your door, back to them, and how they've built the circular economy. It's such an amazing model for a zero waste brand, and I really hope to see more brands doing this. So thank you to Ali and Chris for being in this video and welcoming me into your space. I hope that you guys will learn a lot about Plaine Products. I'll see you back here at the end. So, when a customer places an order on your website, what's the first thing that happens?
It will go into our shipping platform and then we will print out a label, and our labels kind of come out. All of our boxes with only one bottle come out first and then the 2 bottles, and so we kind of have them organized like that, and we will start pulling and sticking them in and putting the label on and sending it out.
Sure.
We get everything out within 24 hours of ordering.
Yeah, so if someone places an order today, it'll go out tomorrow.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. And then you have the different size boxes for the different size orders over here?
Exactly. So we try and eliminate as much packaging as possible. All of our boxes are custom made to our bottles. So they just fit right in. And every now and then we do need a small piece of paper, but that's all recycled. And then when you send that back to us, it goes in this box over here and gets reused again. Everything that we can reuse, we do.
Yeah.
So these boxes are all brand new, made from 100% recycled cardboard, but we do have some over there that came back and are getting reused.
Perfect. And is there like a criteria for like if a box will get reused or recycled?
Definitely. If it's soft or has gotten wet, then we definitely recycle it. Sometimes lids don't get put back on when people send their returns back and there's stains, and no one wants a stained box. But generally they can get reused multiple times. Our cardboard is pretty thick.
All right, so when you pack orders, there's already a prepaid label in there. And the consumers, do they have to pay for the shipping back?
No, so once it's, you have ordered with us before, you'll have empty bottles and you can click please send a return label and we will include one, and you just put that back on the same box that we shipped it to you, and we cover the shipping. So in hopes that we get the bottles back and reuse it. We try, our kind of goal is that we're busy and we understand everyone else is busy, and so we try and make it as easy as possible.
Yeah,
and you can just put it out with your mail and the USPS man will pick it up and bring it back. You don't even have to take it to the post office.
And if you did say you had some other packages to drop off at the post office, does it matter USPS, UPS?
All of our returns come back USPS. So yeah, just take it to the post office.
Sure. Do you have a guess on how many new versus used bottles that you guys use per day or week?
Right now, there's both in what we're shipping out. So it depends on the product that specifically that day is sold. Right now, I can tell you all of our hand washes are in reused bottles. Pretty much, and the body lotion, body wash are, because those were bottles that we got back, and now we're stickering our new label over that so we could reuse those bottles. And then the shampoo and conditioner, those are currently brand new bottles. I can just tell you by looking at them. But that depends day to day on what we have in stock.
The consumer receives their product, they use it up. What then if they want to send the bottles back? Should they clean them? If a bottle is too damaged, should they send it back or recycle it?
Yes, they should rinse it. The cleaner the bottles come back to us, the less work is involved. And one of the biggest problems with washing and reusing shampoo bottles is the amount of soap that comes back from people.
Makes sense.
So from the customers. So if every bottle came back nicely rinsed, our whole process would be much easier. But we sort of have to go with the lowest common denominator and have a process that deals with the dirtiest bottles that come back.
My favorite wash actually is when you put a little bit of water in the end of that shampoo bottle and dump it on your head, because our product is aloe is our first ingredient. So when you put it on, you almost need to add water to make it lather.
Okay.
So that last wash to me is like my favorite because it's the most latherous. And we try and tell people, like, you know, use it all.
Yeah,
Get every last bit out of that bottle.
It's kind of sad when you get a bottle back and it's got an inch of product in the bottom. You're like, well, this is premium product. So.
Exactly. And they paid for it, so you
Yeah,
might as
they
well.
paid for it, so we don't want it back.
Right. And then what's the process like? Even if you get a perfectly clean bottle, you sanitize them over here?
They go through a pre-wash step where they get rinsed and all the residual product is rinsed out. And then behind you are some bottle brushing machines. Those sinks would be full of hot soapy water, and so that's part of the pre-wash step. And then everything goes into racks and goes through these machines. We have this is a purpose-built bottle washing machine. It's built on a commercial dishwashing chassis. This has different attachments that let us wash different things. This is a setup for 49 bottles at once. And then this is a drying machine.
Oh, wow.
So once the bottles are washed and sanitized, they go into the dryer. That way they come out nice and dry without having to be handled. And then they are repacked into cases, sealed, and sent back to the storeroom till they're needed to be filled.
Sure. And so you do all of the processing of the returns here, the washing, the drying, but they're not refilled here.
Not refilled here.
Okay. Where are they refilled?
Refilled in Florida at a specialty manufacturer that we work with.
Cool. And that's where the product is made too?
That's where the product is made, exactly.
Very cool. I've seen a couple dented bottles, and it's totally fine to use, but is there a certain point where it comes to being too dented or too... Is it rusted? Do some bottles get rusted?
The bottles are aluminum, so they don't really get rusted. There are some problems with hard water staining and spotting from some people's water supply. There are not many of those, and those get just sent to recycling.
Okay.
As do the ones with real large dents. So yeah, the people who do the processing back here, they know what to look for. A few dents is fine.
We say like larger than a dime size. We just
and then we just recycle those.
Okay.
And we use a local metal scrap recycler to handle those that can't be washed.
So I had a bottle once, I think it was the body oil. It fell under our bed in the RV and it got squished. It's like almost perfectly in half. I shouldn't send that back, right? I should put it in my own recycling.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. We would appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yes.
But even just a small dent from the shower, if I dropped it,
Is fine.
You talk about reusing
The
these.
boxes, yeah.
We're doing a thing right. We're doing some counting right now where we're trying to get a better handle on how many boxes we're actually reusing.
Very
so when we're doing returns now, we're keeping track of every single type of box that we have and whether and how many are reusable and how many we have to recycle.
Okay.
So doing this for a couple weeks to get a better handle, but I can just look at the sheet and see the numbers in reusable boxes. 78, 50, 64, 70. These are big numbers.
Yeah.
But by comparison, 6, 7, 9, 9. I can just see that we're doing really great
That's
right
awesome.
now on some of these box types. And then this takes away from what we have to order new. So
Right.
we're ordering new from a company near Dayton. But these count against that, so it's really nice to be able to stretch out the new stuff and use as much of this as possible. So.
and I know like a lot of the times USPS might not handle boxes the best, and that will cause dents and stuff. But like, is there anything consumers can do to help?
It tends to be more about product getting onto the boxes.
So making sure that your cap is on tight.
Cap's on tight. Things happen, but if a box has product in it, we can't reuse it.
Right.
If it's clean, there's a good chance it's going to be reused. Sometimes they are dented. Sometimes they've made so many trips that it's the end of the box's life. It's not easy to reuse because you have to, it takes labor, it takes time. And so we have some high school students and some of our regular order packers who will come back here and do this for hours. It's not glamorous, you're opening packages. It takes time to look at what, oh, this is too dented, oh, this is fine, and sorting and all this. And so we have to put labor dollars into it. And it, it's not easy.
Right.
It's not easy.
Makes sense.
But also, it's not hard, kind of like washing bottles.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science, really, to do what we're doing. It just took a lot of time to develop a process that would work with what we're doing.
Right. With the reused boxes over here, do you find that most consumers do reuse your boxes to send their products back in?
Mostly. On that spreadsheet, you can see we're keeping track of the boxes that are miscellaneous.
Oh, okay.
That are not our boxes.
I see an Amazon.
So if you look in the stacked returns here, you see one like this. Somebody reused an Amazon box to send our bottles back. That's great if people don't have our box. But you can actually see
most of them.
This is kind of exceptional. But you can this is some bottles came back in someone else's box, but this is really great.
Gotcha.
And then the ones that are to be reused have tape and labels peeled off of them, and they're put right into the pack room. And the next day, they're gone.
Cool.
So they don't sit around. The order packers go right for those first, get those out of here, and then we get into new boxes each day. So
very cool. So I guess, what inspired you guys to start Plaine Products, and especially to start it using aluminum rather than plastic or glass or something else like that?
Well, my co-founder, Lindsay, and my sister, was living in the Bahamas and on a small island where you see all of your waste and have to deal with it and get rid of it. And she had found substitutes for her water bottle and shopping bags, but had not found any great ideas for the bathroom. And she still felt like there was a ton of plastic in there. So when she moved back to the States, she reached out to me and said, hey, let's do something about this. And we wanted something that could be infinitely recycled and reused. We did start with stainless.
We did not start with
We did not
aluminum.
start.
We started with stainless steel.
Oh, wow.
We didn't realize how problematic stainless steel would be. We
Yeah.
thought it would be a better option for us, but we ran into a lot of problems in a lot of ways, and it turned out that aluminum is much more easily recyclable. It's much lighter, and so traded off some durability and strength and material for lightweight and easy recycling. So,
Was the goal from day one always to have customers ship them back to reuse, or was that added later?
Nope, that was day one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know a lot of companies will switch to aluminum being like, it's so much more eco, but then consumers just recycle it, which is fine, but recycling is broken, as I'm sure you guys know, and reusing is always the first step. So I think that's really cool that you guys did that from day one. And I guess another issue sometimes customers will talk about is the emissions when it comes to shipping stuff back and getting it refilled. I personally think it's a little bit better than the plastic, especially that's not getting reused. With reusing, I think reusing is so much better than recycling, but I wanted to see your guys' opinions on that.
So that's why we ship with USPS, who is basically walking to your door every day anyways to deliver your mail. So we figured if he's just carrying one of our packages, it's not taking any more effort on their part.
we know there's transportation costs. It's all, all this. It's not black and white choices. It's a spectrum of different choices. So we're trading off, with our whole model right now. Yeah, we're shipping shampoo around the country. That's a lot of transportation costs, and we realize that we're not going to save the world by shipping products around the world the way we do now, but we're trying to work in sort of the existing world the way it is now, show that we can do something different, and then we can have a way to sort of make some change,
right,
and raise some awareness. And so no, we're not saving the planet on every choice that we make, but we're trying to come up with something that is different and in the end isn't generating waste. And so like you say, for me, trash drives me crazy, and the thought of all this stuff going to the landfills is just insane. And anything we can do to prevent that, to me, is a win. And we'll have to figure out the transportation, the fuels, the energy, all that over time. But we're is what we're doing. And
Yeah.
you know, we're washing bottles. So.
Yeah, I mean, you can only work with what you got, and as you say, it's not black and white, and I think a lot of consumers will look at it as black and white, but there is a very big gray area, lots of nuance, and it's important to address it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even in the whole world of recycling, like you say, there's a lot of gray area, and it's not a case of recyclable or not recyclable.
Yeah.
It's much more complicated.
3 years, yeah, this Thanksgiving.
In the warehouse.
Yeah,
Exciting.
we bought it.
3 years.
Bought it at Thanksgiving and then moved in a year later at
Thanksgiving during COVID.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, was when
Yeah,
we
that's
bought
right.
it.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
so this was a big step up, I imagine. Where were you guys before the warehouse?
In our garage.
In our garage.
And a warehouse space that we rented that we were doing the bottle washing at and
Okay.
storing all of, like, kind of this whole big room
Yeah.
here was stored somewhere else. And then the pack and ship room was
was
kind of
like our
emulated
garage,
in our
yeah.
3-car garage that started with the 1 car and then moved to this, and then the second car got
2-car.
moved out. And then
Oh, no.
Chris has an electric car that he made that's kind of like a project car. So
fun.
that was the only car that got to stay in the 3-car garage. But
So there was a lot of pressure to find another
Right.
location.
that was close enough because
Close enough.
Clean
This
it up,
property
but,
is
like,
the
that's
source, not this building, but on this property is the source of a Superfund site called the Milford Contaminated Aquifer, MCA. And it is a plume of dry cleaning chemicals
Oh.
that extends from back there down to Old Town Milford, which is not very far away, and a narrow, very contained little plume that goes down where they have some drinking water wells for the city down there.
Well, that's really cool that it was a super, well, I guess still is a super fun
Yeah.
site.
Yeah.
And you turned it into
Cleaning it up, you know.
Yeah.
it's,
Environmentally friendly business. I mean,
Yeah.
that was kind of our vision, was like this whole property would be all environmentally friendly company.
Thank you guys so much for having
I
me.
know,
This
Yeah,
was so
yeah.
much
This
fun.
is fun.
Well, that concludes the tour of Plaine Products. I hope that you learned a lot about them, and I hope that you're feeling inspired to use them in your bathroom routine, whether that be their lotion, their face oil, their face wash, their body wash, their shampoo, conditioner. They have so many products to choose from. Travel sizes, regular sizes, and I just really cannot stop hyping them up enough. Even though this video was sponsored by them, I would make this video for free because I think their model is just so cool. And if a brand their size can do it, a brand of much bigger size and budget can do it as well. There's no excuse for large brands to continuously be polluting our planet when brands like Plaine Products have figured out a sustainable circular model. So if you're in the market for some bathroom swaps, you can shop them with the link down below. And of course, your money supports this system. Instead of buying into these wasteful companies like Dove, Pantene, etc., we can now support really eco-friendly brands like Plaine Products. If you have any more questions about them, leave them down below and I can follow up or they can follow up. Thanks again to the team at Plaine Products for letting me come and do a tour and a little interview. That was so much fun. I hope to do that more. If you guys have any ideas of other brands that you want to see me interview, that sort of style, let me know because that was so much fun and I really want to do more of that on my channel, highlighting eco-friendly brands, particularly small brands that deserve more attention. I'll see you guys next week. Until then, remember that your small actions make a big difference in the long run. Bye guys. We can now instead support really eco-friendly. We can now support really eco-friendly brand. Goodness gracious. We can now support really eco-friendly brand. I'm thinking too hard about it.